everybody, I'm Giant Opinion Sports, and today we're going to talk about 5 potential free agents the Giants could look to sign. Reports are Joe Schoen will free up around $40 million in cap, so we got a little bit of money to play with. Maybe we sign a couple mid-level contracts. I took a look at all the free agents and I picked out 5 that I could realistically see the Giants signing. All these guys I chose could be signed for right around that $7 to $10 million range. If they're going to take a couple free agent players this year, that's probably the cap of where they'll be. But let's dive right in. The first player that popped out to me is Jer Hughes. A longtime defensive end for the Buffalo Bills. My thought process here is the Giants need another edge rusher to pair with Azeez Ojulari, and Jer Hughes would be a perfect fit. He'll probably take a 1-year deal. He's on the backside of his career, but he's still a productive player. He'll also be a great locker room player. And I'm sure Joe Schoen wants a couple of his guys in this locker room, just like we saw with Dave Gettleman. Schoen is going to want to get some of these players that don't fit his culture out of here. He's going to want to do some weeding. So this move makes sense to me. But Jer Hughes has aged like a fine wine. Since 2019, he has a 90.6 pass rush grade. That's good for 5th best among all edge rushers in the NFL. He's just a pass rush specialist. Total package. He wins with speed on the outside. He has tons of inside counters. He's just a weapon to have on third down passing situations. And even at the age 33, he's as good as it gets. Hughes is projected to get probably a 1-year, $6.5 million contract. That's probably what he's going to get if he wants to play for a winner. I think if the Giants throw him an extra $1 million, he'd probably come because of his relationship with Joe Schoen. The next player that I eyed for the Giants was tight end Mike Gesicki. He won't come cheap, but I feel like you can snag him for a reasonable amount. But listen, Mike Gesicki is the tight end that Evan Ingram was supposed to be. You don't want to line him up on the line and block, have him block him 60% of the snaps. You want him out there snagging balls out of the air. That's just what he does. He is the opposite of Ingram. This guy catches everything in his area. He'll jump up and catch some crazy passes that you don't think is even possible. But, he has matured into one of the better tight ends in the NFL. Maybe the best trait is just this dude does not miss games to injury. I think in his 4 years at Miami, he's missed 1 game. So if the Giants are serious about wanting Daniel Jones to succeed, then they will heavily be interested in Mike Gesicki. I think he could be the real security blanket that Jones has never been afforded here. He's productive and always on the field. I think you could sign Gesicki for a 4-year, $50 million contract, somewhere around there. People will say that's too expensive. Blasphemy. Just give him a monster signing bonus and the money won't be overall a huge issue. The next free agent I started to eye was Hassan Reddick, a player that has honestly intrigued me the last couple seasons. A very versatile weapon. I think Reddick could flourish in Wink Martindale's system. This is a guy who came in the league as a middle linebacker, and since he made the switch to edge, he's been a solid contributor. He's capable of just single-handedly taking over a game. Since 2020, Reddick has 22 sacks. That's 4th in the NFL in that period. This dude is a rocket. His burst line is insane. You regulars see tackles overset when playing against them. I think he'd be great for the Giants defense. He may be the best fit for Wing's scheme out of all these free agents this offseason. I also think you can get him for like a 3-year in that $8 to $10 million range a season. So definitely in the Giants' budget. The next free agent I liked was Laken Tomlinson, the guard from San Francisco. Tomlinson is an awesome guard. He would be a great piece for the Giants to build around. And the Giants could sign Tomlinson and draft a couple more offensive linemen in the draft that can run that zone offense that they wanted to. That would just set this team up in the right direction. This guy has improved every season of his career. If you told me in 2-3 years he's a top 5 to 10 guard in the NFL, I wouldn't second guess it. So this move would also greatly improve Jones' chances here. Will Hernandez has been awful with stunts and twists. The days of instant sacks would be gone from the guard position if we signed him. Last season, Tomlinson had a 79.2 pass blocking grade. He has allowed a quarterback pressure on just 2.5% of his pass rush snaps. The arrow is definitely pointing up, and I think you can get him signed for that $7 to $9 million range. He's worth every penny, though. Signing him would be able to take a lot of pressure off Joe Schoen, trying to have to find guards and centers more late in the draft. Last but not least is Ryan Jensen. He's an awesome center, and he could be the centerpiece for the Giants O-line. See what I did there? Some might think he's too expensive, at first thought. But centers don't get them huge paydays like other positions on the O-line. I have a personal affinity towards aggressive, high-effort players. And them two words sum up Ryan Jensen perfectly. He does not play around. He's gonna go for the jugular. Ryan Jensen signing would be great for Nick Gates as well. Gates could take his time coming back from his injury. Maybe you can slide him to a guard spot where he's a better fit. I think you can sign Jensen in that $8 to $10 million range. That should get it done. But listen, that's my list of 5 free agents the Giants could realistically target. There was a few others I took a hard look at. Randy Gregory from the Cowboys, defensive end, he's intriguing. And Chandler Jones, if Chandler Jones don't go early at free agency, I could see his price dropping a little bit into a range where the Giants could snag him. And that may be a pipe dream, but crazier things have happened in the NFL. But the Giants news is probably going to die down here once all the hirings are done, in Giants land. We're going to find stuff to talk about over here, and I think I'll have some weekly live streams over on Hit Squad's channel, so go sub Hit Squad Productions. Stay tuned for more Giants videos, and I've been just making a ton of draft content as well. I'm going to cover as many of these prospects as as time allows anyways, all the way up to the draft. So thank you all for the support I've received and the growth to my channel I've had this past month. It's been a special time for me on YouTube, for sure, and that's all thanks to you guys. So I'm starting to feel like I'm finding my footing here, but thank you all. Like, subscribe, and peace.